it would be nice if you could jump off your boat and not worry about what you were going to get. You know, here's our little baby. That could be a great swimming platform if you trusted the water to be safe.
Each summer, tourists flock to Newport, Rhode Island, drawn by its quaint harbor and sandy beaches. But Ted Roble is aware of an unsavory and largely invisible problem that many of them miss. When it rains, Newport's harbor and beaches become polluted by human and animal feces.
The problems with the sewage pipes separate the storm drains from the sanitary drains, so when it rains, we don't flush poop into the harbor.
There are two sources to Newport's water pollution. The city has an old combined sewer system that gets overburdened by stormwater runoff and often overflows into the harbor. The other, more insidious problem stems from the stormwater itself, which carries animal feces, oil, and other pollutants onto popular beaches on the island. Nearly 40 years after the Clean Water Act, which was meant to stop such pollution, both of these issues persist, and not only here, but in hundreds of communities across the country, including New York City, Cincinnati, and LA.
It's a financial problem. We are still experiencing the same kind of pollution overflows every time there's a heavy rain that we have seen for years and years and years. The problem simply can't be diluted away. It has to be addressed.
Newport's wastewater treatment plant has been discharging over the legal limit since the Clean Water Act in 1972, and yet the city has never been fined by the EPA, punishment that might otherwise encourage the city to stop polluting. Mr. Roble is one of several residents now suing the city and asking government authorities to be stricter in enforcing its clean water laws.
This is the Van Zant Pier. In the summertime, this is mobbed with local kids. This is a famous swimming spot for them. And just between here and the lighthouse is a major sewage outfall. So when the tide is coming in, the sewage in the water is going up the bay.
The city began work to separate storm drains from sewer drains in the 1980s, but progress slowed. So far, in 2009, the city has flushed nearly 70 million gallons of combined sewage and polluted stormwater into the harbor. Such practices were acceptable 40 years ago, but no longer.
When there was wet weather, it just discharged into the harbor. I guess dilution was the solution to pollution.
Julia Forge is Newport's utility director.
We are facing the same challenges that any of the older communities, Boston, New York, Chicago, they were developed as a combined system, and they see the same issues that we're seeing. Newport is actually improving from where we were. If you took a snapshot of where we were in the 70s, are we where we should be? I would say no, but we are working to address the issues.
It's right over on our left is where the latest blowout happened. A 36-inch force main ruptured and started spewing sewerage, basically ran out into the harbor.
Disruptions like this one in May hinder local business, and high bacteria levels in the harbor and coastal waters threaten tourism. The Department of Health has issued dozens of beach closings here in recent summers and posts warnings against swimming at least 24 hours after heavy rainfall.
This is just rain runoff, but the sign right here says no dumping drains to ocean, and it just brings public awareness to the fact that, you know, what you put in your driveway and what leaks off your car, when it rains, it comes in here, so you got to think twice about what you're doing.
David McLaughlin is a local surfer who began a year-round stormwater testing program to inform fellow surfers when it was unsafe to be in the water. On a rainy day in May, he was testing a storm pipe that dumps directly onto the popular Easton's Beach.
So what we're testing right here is we're testing for enterococci, warm-blooded animal waste. It can cause intestinal issues. People can get sick. It can cause eye infections. It's certainly not something that you want to mix into a normal environment. In the summer of 2006, the pipe that sends the sewage from Middletown across into Newport actually broke, and that resulted in, I think, a 1.2 million gallon sewage spill directly into Easton's Bay here. So, you know, that event right there, along with a lot of rain events, caused a lot of beach closures that summer. So it really brought the issues to a surface that certainly things weren't getting better.
The city of Newport has explored radiating the runoff here with UV light, but the plan would not treat for other toxins common to runoff, such as benzene, oil, or antifreeze.
But we would be happy if we could just get the biological pollutants out of the water right now, and maybe some other point in time we can look at cleaning up some of the other things.
Nationally, the Obama administration's stimulus bill has allocated $4 billion for wastewater projects, but even that will be insufficient to cure this national problem. Some say the issue is so widespread it will require congressional action to complete all the sewer upgrades.
If Barack Obama were to come to town with a suitcase full of money and say, how much will it cost to fix this problem, and can you get it done in 2 years, the city would jump up and down with joy. We would find a way to put up with the disruption of tourism and traffic for a couple of years. We would be perfectly happy to solve the problem. If we're going to be a world-class city, we need to have world-class water.